I was told of this place by my yoga teacher in Balam Yoga Centre, and I pootled along in my old Alfa Romeo, about 5 hours drive from London, and ended up in this sort of magical place. Came for course, and then as a guest, and then I came on more courses. When I quit my job in London, I didn't come to the ashram in the winter, so that was the end of 2018, and I went to spend 3 months in Mumbai. And even though I was away in Mumbai and had some great experiences, it's still not the same as being here. And really, actually, you can travel anywhere you want in the world, as beautiful as it is, but if inside there's a disease or there's something which is not right, then no external thing, in my opinion, will really make much of a difference.
The irony is that within striking distance from Mumbai, you've probably got 1,000,001 yoga ashrams.
Yeah, it was something which caused a lot of amusement in India. And they were asking me what my plan was in life. And I said, yes, I'm going back to Wales to live in an ashram. And they had, as you know, ashrams in India are as common as Starbucks. But there was no internal driver for me to really explore any ashrams in Mumbai or Pune or surrounding, or Goa. So that, to me, that just shows how special this place and magical this place is, and how, in terms of the West, how I think it's quite unique to have this.
So why be in an ashram?
I've been coming on and off for about a decade, and the place was as amazing as it is now, and still has that very sort of raw essence of teaching the authentic teachings of yoga. These external things in life which are amazing and great to enjoy, but they don't necessarily define us. I tried many different things in my life, many external things. So things that society tells us will make us happy, get a job and get decent money and have a car and do all these external things. I had actually quite a decent, what's a quote unquote decent external material life, and I was yet still very frustrated inside, and had this kind of what I term as, I saw a YouTube video on it once, where they often, we feel as human beings that we have this sort of hole in us, and we try and fill it with food or alcohol or sleep, television. I think it's also special in the sense of that in modern life there isn't often a place where people can come and retreat and have that refuge and have that space from the pressures of day-to-day life. And they can really sort of be somewhere where it's a safe environment, and they can be vulnerable and share with like-minded people. I think that's invaluable, to have that sangha, to have that spiritual community that support one another. I think it's very special in the sense of that as you said, over the 3 decades that Swamiji's created this space for people to come. People have come from all over the world. They've practiced sincerely. So that sort of energy has kind of remained in this beautiful place. spiritual life is very much about not necessarily chasing insight or chasing experiences, because we're still embodied, we still need to shower and do our duties and responsibility and work and drive and get the MOT and and do these things, and it's about how these things can help the outside, help our lives, really. Point. I think Swamiji's teachings are very tantra based, in the sense of we enjoy all elements of life and we don't repress our natural energies, and we don't we express them, and we enjoy the beauty of being embodied. Not limiting ourselves to dogmatic beliefs about what's right and wrong, but actually letting the natural energies of ourselves flow and really expressing those energies. So I think, Tantra is kind of the it doesn't label any portion of life as out of bounds. So I think it's a very free and, very a way of, accepting life, really, as it is. I hadn't been exposed that much to Advaita before being here. Swami Sachidaya over the winter had lent me a few, he lent me one Ramesh Balsekar book, and then if anyone who's been here will know that one of our most amazing resources is our library, which has just got books on everything you could possibly imagine. Very, very, very good source of knowledge. And as I was saying to you earlier, I really struggled during my first Welsh winter. The half a day karma yoga, the pitch black at 4 o'clock, and the continuous rain is not a myth. And interestingly, I read a lot of Ramesh Balsekar during the winter, and then lo and behold, this pandemic came seemingly from nowhere. So really emphasized to me that I'm not in control. I'm not in control of, as much as my ego would like to tell me that I'm capable of doing this and I've achieved this and I've done that and I can make things happen. Really, I can do my best in every situation and ultimately have to let it go. One of our main practices is the practice of karma yoga, which is work with awareness. So that's what we spend a lot of the day doing, either working in these beautiful gardens or in the kitchen or in the office. And that really is a strong practice of really learning to just improve our awareness of everyday life and what we think and how we feel and what we do. And actually that really is a really powerful word. Just observe what we do within a day, what we say, what we don't say, how we interact. And actually I think a lot of insight can be gained from that. And you also use the word about perspective. And I think that comes back to, the idea that in modern self-development is becoming a shiny new person, me. Going to the gym and going on a life coaching course and becoming and getting a six-pack. Maybe, obviously, I'm no closer to that. Obviously, I've not taken the right course. But, really becoming this new person. But you use the word perspective. And actually, as far as my understanding of yoga and these practices and why we're here, is to actually change our perspective. And that transformation is that transformation of perspective.
We have a spiritual director who is, I guess, a world-renowned yogi, and I know he's been a friend of yours for many years, Swami Nishchalanand. How much do you feel he plays a part in your yogic development here? Spiritual development, if we can get away with using that word.
Yeah, Swamiji is obviously the founder and the sort of, he created this place, and I think that the work that Swamiji has done, as you said, he was in Mungir, 13, 14 years of training and, practicing and really gaining insight from his teacher and then spreading those teachings. And I think he's just a fantastic person who has really given himself to and helped so many people who've come into contact with him, which I think is such an admirable thing to do in life, really.
Astonishing.
Our purpose, the sort of re-establishing a sort of a different focus, was that the way I see it personally for me is that we're now holding the space in terms of this beautiful ashram for when guests eventually do come back. So whether that's working in the garden or keeping the practice going, or our regular chanting, and making sure that whenever this global pandemic does end and our gates are open again, that people come back to a beautiful ashram, and new people are also introduced to this wonderful space and amazing teachings. I mean, we've obviously got the online courses, which have been very successful, and I've been very personally surprised at how the magic and the energy transmits over the ether.
True. I forget how much people who have been here feel it like a second home, and I get reminded of that sometimes, and I forget, especially now you're not all here, and it's just us chickens here on our own, and yeah, we miss you guys. Yeah, we miss you.
The lunatics are definitely running the asylum now. So please come back.
Harshly put, Raj, harshly put.
Yeah, the fact is that the teachings, if they touch you and if they make sense to you, then this is a great place to go deeper. It really is.